This is Kotobukijake coming to you via Septum Sin versus the World. And as per Septum's suggestion and as promised on some of our previous videos, I am making some of my own solo reviews. I'm still looking for other thoughts, other ideas on videos I can do solo that are going to be good for the channel. A lot of the stuff I want to do that's like my ideas, I really want to do them collaborative with Septum. It's more fun to have the back and forth, I think. But you guys are always welcome to chip in and give us your thoughts. Hopefully, if this should be my second video. I actually did this one and the prior video before, and I did not like how that first take went. And for various reasons, I have not been able to go back and do a second take yet. So I actually have a third video that'll come out after this that is older, and it'll show, because hair's longer. It's just the way it is. But each one covers a different topic, actually. The first one I did is going to be is a movie review, and this one is going to be an anime review. Specifically, a show that I've recently been mentioning on the channel that I've watched that I really found very interesting. Golden Time. Okay, it's a romantic dramedy that really, truly is a romantic dramedy. It is amazing. I've hardly ever seen a romantic anime that I would be willing to say is a safe date series. My two favorite romances hitherto were Toradora and Maison Ikkoku. And I do think both of those are great choices, but both of them have a lot of, for lack of a better way of putting it, anime quirks. Specifically, Toradora has a very Malay style, and the palm top tiger, Tiger Asuka, is a dyed-in-the-wool tsundere type character. Ikkoku has the issue that's 96 episodes long, one. Two, it's extremely hard to get because it's 96 episodes and it was never fully given an American release. The last two volumes were an ultra limited release, and I still don't have volume 8 because it's like $400, 12 episodes, and I don't think anyone's streaming it. But you can get the manga easy enough, and the show's a remarkably faithful adaptation of the manga. But the main issue with Ikkoku is the neighbors. They're very much anime stock characters that can get very annoying if you're not fully into that sort of thing. Golden Time has very little of that. It has some weirdness, and I'll get to some of that in a bit. But the biggest thing with Golden Time is that it's sloppily directed. It's not as good as Ikkoku or Toradora. Anime News Network actually came right out and said that the director sunk the series, and without her it would have been a pretty good series. And I cannot fully disagree with that. But I still found it a fascinating show, and honestly, I've seen the kind of shows, the kind of movies that most people tend to be roped into watching as date stuff. Golden Time can go toe to toe with a lot of those. So it's probably not, that's probably not a huge thing against it. The main thing, it came out, this was a series, it's 26 episodes, I believe. 24 episodes. Came out in the fall season 2013 and winter season 2014. And it's pretty much a self-contained story. I know it's based on a series of light novels, and I'm not really sure if the novels went longer, but it definitely is a pretty well done in a lot of ways. The story is great, and I'll bet if I ever get to read the light novels, I'll think pretty well of them. But it basically follows these two. The young lady in the front, his name is Kotobukijake, and she is voiced by the wondrous Yui Horie, who's not only a phenomenal voice actor, pretty competently solid singer. She sings all four of the themes to this, and incidentally, she stars in and sings the themes for Toradora. Yeah. And she's gorgeous. I know that shouldn't factor into it, but it does. I love Yui Horie. But at any rate, and then Tada Banri is the guy in the series. Tada Banri is a young man who goes to Tokyo and to go to law school. And on his very first day, he gets the crazy idea of, I don't know where I'm going. He goes to the entrance ceremony, but he doesn't know how to get to the school. He's like, I don't know where I'm going, so I'm going to follow these girls because they know where they're going. But he does the whole stalk. He doesn't come right up and say, can I go with you guys? He does the stalker thing. And of course, they end up losing him. And he bumps into this guy whose name is Mitsuo Yanagisawa. It's played by Kaito Ishikawa. And Mitsuo had the same idea. So they immediately realize, wait a minute, we're kind of kindred spirits here. And they end up somehow finding the school on their own. And just before they get there, a taxi pulls up. A gorgeous young woman jumps out of it, holding a big bouquet of roses, strides right up to Mitsuo, says, congratulations, smacks him across the face several times with the roses, tosses them at him, gets in the cab, and runs off. And of course, he is shell-shocked, and Banri is just like, the hell is that?
What happened?
And then Mitsuo explains, there's a reason I'm at this school. I grew up with this girl. She's kind of stalking me. She thinks we're going to get married, and, I'm kind of running away from her. And she's in class with them right after that, listening in on their conversation. So, basically, she followed him to school. And at the start, in one of our earlier videos, I called her the girlfriend from hell. And one of the reasons I did is that at the beginning, she is a full-blown 5-alarm stalker. She is dangerously possessive and jealous and scary. And it's no wonder Mitsuo doesn't like her. But somehow Banri, he feels something. He is immediately drawn to her. And she sees that he has a bond with Mitsuo and starts using him to be close to Mitsuo. And before long, they really are becoming friends. And when they get kidnapped by a cult, you heard that right? That helps solidify their friendship. Unfortunately, in the meantime, another young lady has entered the picture. And her name is Nana, but she goes by Linda, the one there with the brown hair. And her name is Nana Hayashida. She's played by Ai Kayano. And she had met Banri on his first day and immediately taken a liking to him, and they sort of became friends. And she ends up finding the two of them in the woods after they run away from the cult and rescuing them, if you will. I can't really say any more without getting into spoiler territory, so minor spoiler. Her history with Banri goes much further back than he realized, because he has amnesia. Complete retrograde amnesia from the day after he graduated up until now. That is a pretty big spoiler, but it also happens early in the series, and frankly, if you don't like stories with amnesia, you might as well know up front, because it's a big part of the story. Now, the way they handle it is very interesting. I don't know if it's medically accurate. I do not think retrograde amnesia behaves this way. I could be wrong, but I really don't think it does. But if you're willing to go with it, it makes an interesting plot hook that does play out pretty well, for the most part. Now, the other person you see on this cover here, with the salmon-colored hair, Her name is Chinamioka. Ibuki Kido plays her. She's a young film student who is immediately takes a liking to both Banri and Mitsuo. And eventually you come to realize that, there's some other things going on around there too. But Mitsuo, initially his interest in her is purely as a friend, and hers likewise. But the first time that Coco meets Oka, it's not pretty. Coco really shows her ass in that scene. And after Mitsuo, but she realizes it. And this is one of the reasons why the character grew on me. She is trying to change. She knows she got problems. She's trying to fix them. She was mortified with herself after that scene. But, you gotta start somewhere, I guess. The other major players in this one, you have Takahiro Hikami, who, Nijigen-kun is played by Takahiro Hikami. I don't think they ever actually say his name, but Nijigen-kun basically means 2D girl guy. Like, he likes 2D girls. He gets the nickname by the girls in the tea ceremony club, and if you ever met them, you might reconsider Live Women too. They're horrible. And for some reason, this group decides to keep that nickname. I don't know. He's fine with it. Go figure. But he makes an interesting foil for a lot of the antics in the series. And also, it is worth noting, back to Oka for a minute, she goes around filming everything with what she calls the O-camera. O-camera. Little play on words there. And Coco, once she starts talking to her, she starts calling him Chompa-san, which translates in the subtitles as Miss Ultrasonic. And it is important to know that at least this edition, I don't know about the complete collection. Sentai has a pretty good track record with their complete collections of including English dubs. But with the individual sets that I have, there's no English dub. Chompa-san is well named. She has a very, very high voice. So if that bothers you, be warned. If it doesn't, doesn't bother me too much. Other than that, it is also, and then there's Nana Senpai. If you've seen our previous videos, you know that I've remarked on Nana Senpai. She is a dark-haired punk rocker who lives next door to Banri, who happens to be very good friends of Nana Hayashida, aka Linda. Now, if you think that's set up, a dark-haired punk rocker who's very good friends with another Nana. What series does that remind you of? There you go. I still need to see Nana. But I've seen the movies, and I can tell you that I was like, wow, is this homage or does this cross the line into ripoff? But I was amused by it. I liked this version of Nana. I think her name in the original was Nana Ozaki or something like that. Nana O was kind of her nickname. So that was an interesting thing. The music, unfortunately, is nowhere near Nana level. It's pretty decent. The themes by Yui Horie are pretty, but they're very poppy. The first closer, Sweet and Sweet Cherry, is probably the nicest one. Other than that, I just go ahead and wrap it up. I hope I covered everything I wanted to. It's a pretty good series overall. The story does get real interesting, real complex. I like the way it played out. It could have played out very differently, and had it played out very differently, I wouldn't have liked it as much, because Linda is my favorite character, and things could have gone a lot worse for her. It could have gone a lot worse for any of the characters, but she's the one where I would have cared. It's a fun series. It was sloppily directed, and it's a shame. Just like with Fairy Tail, it could have been so much better. better direction. The music could have been better. The animation was nice. It's pleasing, but it's not as fancy and good as it could have been. And really, that's about it. Overall, I think I gave it an 8. I tend to be generous in my rankings, but I think 8 could work. So definitely give it a go. Hopefully Septum will play us off with the opening bars of Sweet and Sweet Cherry because they're really good. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and have a good time.